think the hardest part of, first of all, for me, there was such a weight lifted off my shoulders when I was actually able to go. I've been begging, really, to go for a couple of years. All the while, this was still, taking over, progressing really to that point of just complete desperation and hopelessness. The hardest part of me going to rehab, I think, was knowing that I really needed to focus on the changes that were going to have to take place. There were parts of me, honestly, that didn't care. I really got to a point, when you get to a point where you want to kill yourself, when you get to a point where you try, and you don't, I really didn't care anymore what other people were thinking. I'm not saying it works that way for everyone. Just for me, I made the decision that I was going to stop my life the way I knew it, and I was going to go get help, and I contacted that residential program because I wasn't getting anywhere with the efforts that I was making locally. And I told them, I'm going to be on your doorstep. I don't care what I have to do. So somebody needs to help get me there because I'm about ready to kill myself. Or I was going to steal beyond what I had ever done before. I knew it. You know that what's happening. You do. It's not an intellectual thing. We get it. The fact that it didn't work for me, and the fact that I was able to wake up the next day and I was still alive, for me, the only option I had was to let my family know, here's the deal. This is what's been going on. They were not supportive. I got in a major fight with my father about it. We were really battling hard because he was hurting too. Here he is 400 miles away from me. He can't do anything. They've been trying to pull me back to Maine, thinking that this is really what's going to be the solution. And the residential program contacted my parents, and within 2 weeks I was able to be there. I did what I needed to do with work. My family helped me do what I had to do with connecting with my clients. I'm not saying it was done right, but at the time, my life is what mattered. It was a life or death situation for me. And I needed to go away, and I needed to take care of this so that I can come back and be able to sit here now and be able to do what I can do to move forward and to help other people. Rehab is hard. A lot of people don't go to rehab for gambling addiction. There aren't many rehabs out there. I mean, the residential program I went to was a removal for 5 weeks. That was an intensive residential program like people go to for drugs and alcohol. It's what is needed. We need to be out of our environment in order for us to get well. When it gets to that point, maybe if as a problem gambler, you can go to some outpatient. Maybe as a problem gambler, you can go to some group and be able to get on top of it. For me, once it progresses to a certain point, you got to remove yourself. You need to go to treatment. It's really what it's all about. So, is treatment hard? Yes. Peeling away the layers, trying to, understand why, trying to heal the wounds, deal with the unresolved stuff from life. And understand why, your path has led you where it has. Yeah, it's real hard. The hardest part, though, is when you come out. The best part of recovery is feeling confident that I do feel free right now from the addiction. It will always be there, but I like to explain it as, it's in me, it's confined in me, and the cap is on real tight. It'll always try to get out. I know it's moving on to try to destroy other people's lives right now. I'm sure it'll come back and try to destroy mine too. But I do feel free in a way that I hadn't felt free before. I don't wake up in the morning feeling the same way or go to bed feeling the same way. I don't feel like it's wrapped around my neck. I feel like there's hope at a time when I didn't feel like there was hope. I actually do. My life isn't great. I have a path of destruction behind me that I'm trying to clear up. And, wake up every morning realizing that there's never a wrong time to do the right thing. And I'm trying to do the right thing right now. And that involves many things in my life. But I guess that the best part for me is knowing that I do have life ahead of me, and I have hope that it's going to get better. The hardest part is realizing that every single day I have to kind of live my life in a way that keeps me in recovery. And that means change, and that means being aware, and that means taking responsibility to try to right the wrongs of everything that I did in my addiction and everything that it made me do. The hardest part is realizing that I lost so much time, my entire adult life. You know, really from the age of 24, I'm 39 now, and it's been just since March 2nd, 2009. So, you know, I'm not a mom, and I'm not a wife. I don't have a career. I don't have a home. And I have to deal with that every day. And I have to try to, you know, feel okay with that and realize that, you know, I'm not old, but I certainly do have a path of destruction behind me that would make it, that doesn't make it so appealing, you know, for friends or people to trust me, or, you know, to have a trust in a relationship, have trust with my family. All that stuff is getting better, but it's still, that's why relapse is so prevalent in recovery, is because it's so hard to deal with those things. It's so hard to want to face it. We want to go back to that comfort place and back to that thing that helped us to escape to begin with. But I haven't, and I feel great about that, and I'm working my way through the emotional stuff, and I'm working my way to finding that path of helping other people and helping this nation really understand the destruction of this addiction and the reality of this addiction and the progression of this addiction, and to not take it lightly. And consequences when you're gambling mean something. Consequences when you're doing anything mean something. And when you can't escape it, you need help, and help is out there.